I gotta like yell just because of that. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Chewin the Rag. Today we welcome back a very special guest, my guy Mike Valente. How are you today, Mike?
What's up?
What's going on, man? Good to hear from you. Good to see you. It's been a busy year for you.
Yeah, a little busy.
That's good though.
Not as busy as I wanted it to be, but it was busy enough.
Well, I have a feeling it's going to get a lot busier in the next month or so. So, I mean, I saw today you posted, not really back in the office for what, a week or so, and then right back to it. You finally get a little bit of downtime.
Yeah. So Christmas Eve, Christmas, and Friday, I'm not in the box office, and then Saturday and Sunday, I'm not in the box office, and then we don't have a show until like January 8th. I'm like, holy shit. Like, well, I mean, it's good, you know. I mean, I haven't taken this much. Usually when I take time off, we're on tour or we're doing stuff, but I got nothing. I got nothing to do.
I mean, that's not the worst thing though sometimes, but at the same time, even for me, I have this week off and then I took next week off, and it's really just hanging out. We have 2 kids now. We got the baby now, so yeah. So it's just you think, oh, I'm gonna hang out for a little bit. I got some time off now. That's not what's gonna happen at all. She still has work, so you're gonna take care of these 2 damn kids.
Yeah.
But it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to talking a little bit about Extreme Music Awards with you. That's the main thing today.
Yeah.
Sponsored that again this year. It looks like it's going to be, yeah, absolutely. Thank you. You reached out to me and we got it done. So I'm looking forward to going this year. Last year she was pregnant, so I missed it, unfortunately. Made the first one. So I'm looking forward to coming back and hanging out with everybody and seeing what's up. It looks like it's going to be bigger, which is great. Bigger is always good. I got the list of nominations here. I see a lot of new names, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's good to see more people.
A lot of new names in the hat this year, which was good.
Yeah, it's awesome. I want to shout out my buddy Sean, actually, the End of Man, because I met him 10 plus years ago, and he was in the whole Joe Chaos trap, and then see him back at it 10 years later, and he's getting involved with Albany, and he's in Massachusetts, and he's going to shows, and he's playing shows here. He loves Empire, so shout out to him being able to get back on it. He's a really good guy, so it's cool to see him on this list.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. And then I'm looking at it now. Here's the thing with the Extreme Music Awards that people don't understand. And it's mostly haters. It's like, it's probably the most fair way you could do something like this. You don't put yourself on it. There's no brick by brick. There's no bias to it.
So I designed this specifically in the back of my head, knowing that somebody's going to go, oh, it's rigged or something. Because, you know what, growing up playing Battle of the Bands and going, it's always somebody knows somebody, and then, you know, basically it's just a political move, right? So thing is, though, it's like my position in the music community, the heavy music community, is I gathered a lot of friends and a lot of bands, so I can't show favoritism because they're all my friends. I'd say 80% of them I've known for years just in the scene. So you know, when I got together with Ralph, Brendan, Fuzz, and Artie, you know, we made sure that we developed a system that we believe was foolproof, you know? So like the nomination part is basically a public forum, a public vote. So yes, it's a popularity contest, but if you're in a band that wants anything to do with this, then you're going to promote it. And a lot of bands took it serious and promoted it, mentioned it, put out the QR code, and you know what? We got thousands and thousands of votes, and you know, some bands rose right to the top in popularity, not necessarily the most talented, not saying that they're not talented, but it's just a way to put them on the radar. And from the information that we get, once the nominations are over with, then we eliminate all the bullshit, all the Metallicas and
Yeah.
Slayers that aren't eligible because they're not local, and we try to eliminate bands that are actively touring and representing a national status.
Mm.
So, like Skinless is not eligible. Brick by Brick wouldn't be eligible. So we try. And I know that there's bands that are playing actively out of town, and we're not going to hold that against them. But somebody that's signed to a record label, has a booking agency and management and all that stuff, yeah, you already made it. So you don't need no.
Right.
Anyway, so we use the nomination process, which is all votes, and we get it all together, and we sit there, and it takes time to sift through all this stuff. We have our discussions, and band number X, they had 400 votes. Band X had 20 votes. Okay, so what we do is we put them in the correct categories first, and then we sift through the votes, and the more votes get you into the nominations. So that's the first step. Second step is we have 11 judges that take those nominees, the nominees, and I do design criteria for each category. So best death metal, whatever the category individually for the band is, that's going to be based on what that judge
Mm.
likes. So if he likes your band, you're going to get, the chance to win. But for album criteria, there's production, there's, talent, songwriting, there's different things behind each category. If you're in the best vocalist category, well, do you only do guttural screams? Can you, reach a vast range on,
Yeah.
the spectrum, et cetera, et cetera. So the judges, which are comprised of myself, Ralph, Brendan, Artie, and Fuzz, we're the local representation. And then we add 6 judges that generally have nothing to do with bands directly. So we can't have like an influenced vote.
Mm.
So, I'm not going to have, let's say, Joe Schmo's girlfriend on the panel,
Right.
so she's
Yeah.
obviously voting for her man's band or whatever. So like we had, Jim Wortman in the past, who's a photographer in the area, if you don't know him, and he goes to all the shows. He supports all the bands. So we thought he would be a good choice because he doesn't have favoritism. We try to rotate the judges and use different judges, but we do have a few that are still active. So we're using Jimmy from Blast Furnace Productions out of Brooklyn. He doesn't know any of the local bands. Kathy Cave from Maine. She's a booker out of Maine that I'm friends with. She doesn't know any of the local bands. So it's like so this way these bands are judged based on their merits and their talent. So and the 5 of us, Fuzz, Ralph, Artie, Brendan, myself, we're local, so we know the activity of these bands. So our votes will get comprised along with the other judges. So I think it's fair. If somebody doesn't think it's fair, tell me a better way to do it. I'm just trying to do it as best as we can. So we have 11 judges, and we went through all the categories, picked all the winners. So we know the winners now. There was one tie this year. So,
Oh, jeez.
Between, if there's 4 or 5 people in each category, and, some, 2 people vote for this guy, 2 people vote for that guy, one, whatever it is. But there ended up being one tie. And, we had a meeting on Monday. It took about an hour to do the pros and cons and weigh which one was better for this. It's like, and it was tough because I'm friends with both of the things. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, well, this person's more active, and then you talk not just talent but work ethic and
Yep.
everything else to help break that tie, and we did. And like I said, it's still fair. The best part about the award show is just seeing all these bands represented together in one room. And every year that I've been up, that we've had this, I've been up on stage and I just said, look at there's 500, 600 people in attendance right now. If you guys did this for every show, you guys would make exponentially tons more money.
It's true. It's true.
It just, if everybody just supports. I mean, I know it's difficult, for a lot of people to get out with families, work, and all that shit. But if you're in a band, you got 5 members. One member of your band should be
Somebody's gotta, somebody's gotta pick one for that show. But
yeah.
there's a couple things there that you mentioned that I didn't even really think of. Might be local but represented. I didn't really even consider that one. That was something that obviously you have the bands that you don't want on there, but I didn't really consider bands that have booking already. I didn't really consider that as something that you want to avoid. And then the other part of it is the popularity contest. Well, you should be trying to put yourself out there regardless if you're going to be in a band and want to play out and do these things. So yeah, it should kind of be that way. That's work that you got to put in.
Every year people still vote for Brick by Brick, and I'm just like, oh well, we can't.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. I'd love every award.
Yeah, exactly. Why the hell not? But I was talking to, while we're on the subject, you were talking about all these band members and everybody being in the same room. Jesse Addington was on not too long ago. And we were talking about just
I saw that.
the state of the scene and whatnot, and how it does feel like it's kind of just blown right back up and everything's great. And you have all these shows, not even just at Empire, but all over the place. From a booking standpoint, does that get kind of frustrating? I know you've vented before where it's like, can we talk to each other and try to let's not step on each other's toes. Let's grow this thing. Or
right now things are very coexistent.
That's awesome.
Adam Marandino's taking care of like most of the younger hardcore stuff. I got his shirt on right here, there, Adam, sporting your band. And I'm older, so I'm a little out of touch with the younger hardcore stuff. It happens. It happens every generation. It just is what it is. So somebody's got to step in and fill that gap. Adam and I work together, so he will call me and we will discuss, dates, so he doesn't compete against me. And that's all I've ever asked, even from the Duster days and the Bogies days. It's like, why are you booking a show on the same day that I have the same genre show? It's like, pay the fuck attention. And it's just like, it's common courtesy. But now, besides that, you're watering it down. So now you got to make people decide where to go. And you're splitting that crowd in half. And, it was like that for a long time. And people were just, they didn't care. They didn't give a shit. And they just did what they wanted. And it doesn't happen like that anymore. And I love that Adam pays me the respect and I do to him. It's like, listen, here's, being at Empire, we tend to book out a lot further than a local DIY show would.
Right.
Because, we deal with several agents and, bands of all different levels. So, I know what I'm booking this summer almost already. It's it's crazy. So, and I explained that to Adam. I said, just please call me and I'll let you know what is on hold, what is possible, and what is definitely going to happen. And, we've gone back and forth and, he's changed a couple dates like, oh, it's not going to work because it'll go again. Yep. So he's doing great with that. And, I couldn't ask for anything more. I get a little jealous because I'd like some of his shows to be at our club, but is what it is. I get it. And when I say jealous, I'm a little facetious. I mean,
Yeah.
it from a business standpoint, it's it's about, I mean, Empire is not a corporate entity. It is a DIY spot. It's a blue collar spot. There's nobody making $1 million in this place. It's, we have bills. We have employees. We have, probably a $30,000 overhead every month, including a lease, insurance, staffing, bills. It's like, yeah, I mean, we painted ourselves in that corner, and we're gonna finish the room. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of fly by night people think it's easy to book a show. I'm just gonna book a show and not pay
Yeah.
attention and just do it. And it's like, when people do that, it's like you gotta show respect to the people that I've been doing shows for 30 years, and out of them 30 years, I think I made a profit of maybe $1,000. No, I'm being facetious. The now that we have the team that we have at Empire, it's a corporately structured DIY spot. So we make sure all the bands get paid all the time. Nobody gets stiffed. Nobody doesn't get paid. Um, you get paid on based on what you draw. So if you're going to draw two people, you might you're going to get paid, but you might
Yeah.
get $10,
Right.
$20.
Yep.
But do me a favor and bring a couple people next time. But yeah, but we work together, and I think it's helped. And I think that the younger generation in Albany is starting to see that, I'm not this get off my lawn guy. I support these kids.
Yep.
And perfect example is Noir just played the Acacia Strain weekend, and they killed it. And they're such a great band, such great kids, and they got the right attitude. And you know what? I told them, I said, I'll support you guys any way I can. I buy their shirt, I'll do whatever. Um, it's just good to see those kids excited, and you know what? They're very respectful. And back in the you know 10, 15 years ago, it really wasn't like that. It was just like they wouldn't give me the time of day. That
Yeah. Right.
it is what it is,
Mhm.
but it's different, and I think it just helps. And one of the kids from Noir was excited about our show on March 13th with Internal Bleeding and All Out War, and I was kind of like excited. I'm like, oh, this kid's psyched to see us. I'm like, that means a lot to me. But
Yeah. It's
like I
awesome.
said, I'm old enough to be this kid's dad. There's definitely a little disconnect in the scene. I mean, they're young, I'm old. You got to let the hardcore kids be young. I mean,
Yep.
it is what it is. And I'm never going to hold that against anybody that shows the proper respect to the people that have been doing it longer than them, to come to them and ask how to, gauge their show. Hey, if I do a show on this date, am I competing against anything? And that speaks worlds right there. Just given the respect. I mean, and
Yeah.
that's,
It's a phone call. It's
yeah,
one phone call, and maybe a few phone calls, but a phone call
right.
regardless starts it off.
Forth, and and then there's some other people out there that like to sabotage shit. And you know what? Karma's a bitch, and it'll all come out in the wash.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. That's the second time somebody's brought up Noir on this podcast, by the way. So shout out to them
I
because they're
know.
doing something right.
I love them kids.
They're doing something right because
There's a
that's
lot of
Jesse.
lot of
Jesse was talking about them as well.
lot of great new bands, and it's exciting to see. It really is. I go, just remember, you're not going to be young all the time. You're going to be my,
Yeah.
and you're still going to be doing it, and you're still going to be killing it.
I felt like the old guy not too long ago. I was wearing a Madball shirt and I was at the gas station in Clifton Park here. And a kid stopped me. He goes, "Oh, that's a sweet shirt. I like Madball. My dad always tells me about him. Like, that's cool. I saw him at Bogies. He's like, bogies. I was like, yeah. I was like, back in probably
All right.
2014. He goes, oh, my dad always talks. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm only 33, dude. How old are you? Why? There's no way you're working at a gas station and I'm talking to you like I'm 50.
Well, I mean, some of the the older hardcore bands, the legacy bands, that
Yeah,
they're still well respected. It's
they are.
and the one thing about Brick by Brick is we always got lumped in with hardcore. Not saying that that's a bad thing, but we're a metal band
Yep.
with a hardcore attitude, I guess you could say. So a lot of people, you got them purists that kind of look at you like,
Yeah.
who are these fat old men playing in a hardcore show? It's like, oh, we're a metal band. You tell them that, and they're like, oh, yeah, you're metal. You're old, fat, and old. That's metal. But I mean, the way things are these days, everything's starting to cross over, and
Oh yeah.
awesome, especially that death and hardcore.
Yeah.
I love that. It's awesome.
No, it's really good to see. It's awesome to see. It's been cool. Even I'm not as active for sure, but I'm always an outside looking in type guy. I still have friends who are playing these shows and kind of living vicariously through everybody. Just seeing how active it's been and the kind of mixed bills that you get between the hardcore and everything else. And then you got guys like Invoke Thy Wrath who they do their thing, but it looks like a hardcore show when you watch them.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's
so shout out that's this sweatshirt right here actually. So shout out them.
Yeah, it transcended, So it's the younger kids are starting to dig a vast vast amount of genres these days, and that's good. And hence the award show, it covers all the bases for heavy stuff. And there's other award shows, but they don't pay the heavy music its due or its proper due. I mean,
No.
everything gets watered down or misrepresented, or why did that band get a heavy metal award? They're a punk band. It's
Right, exactly.
we try to make sure that we're on point with all that stuff.
No, I think that's great. And that was something that we talked about when this whole thing first started. And that was your whole thing about it was, why are these guys not getting the respect? The people that are voting on this or just saying this guy wins this, they're not actually doing the research on what it is. They don't actually care. It's just, we're adding another band to this award show pretty much. Here's they win this. That's it. So when you have people involved that do care and want to see something succeed, it's going to be better and you're going to want to see something like that thrive. So it's awesome.
Yep, I agree. And like I said, all the other genres, they cross over, and there's so much crossover stuff. It's next to impossible to do like a multi-genre award show. I mean, how do you do that? It's like you got the Eddies and you got the it's like, I get what you're doing, but it's a lot. It is. Gotta like slim it down a little bit. I mean, I don't know.
And that Friday the 13th show, you talked about it a little bit. I saw you have the VIP packages for that for yourself. The machete is awesome. I wanted to bring that up.
I don't think anybody's ever done that.
I don't think so. I was thinking about it. I need a machete on this wall. I got all this shit here. I was like, the machete's great. So that's kudos to you for that, because that's definitely an original.
Like I said, we usually do one show a year. That's like kind of like a spotlight show for us locally.
Yeah.
Not just jumping on a package or whatever. So we try to take, like last year we played April 26th for our release party, and we had a reason. We were releasing a new record, and I'm like, I want to do another show. We don't really have a reason to do a show. But, I'm like, what? Friday the 13th, let's do something around that. And I was talking to Chris from Internal Bleeding, and, we came up with the idea. And I'm like, oh, this would be badass if we did that. And I'm like, yeah. So then the wheels start turning. And next thing you know, we got a custom engraved machete for the podcast, for the VIP package. So.
Yeah. No, that thing's awesome. I saw that and I was like, hell yeah, that rules.
Yeah. Nobody's done that. I think we're the first ones to do a custom engraved machete.
You guys are doing a music video shoot soon too, aren't you? It got
Yeah,
postponed. And
January 18th. We're gonna be doing a music video. So usually we do a couple videos per album to help promote it and all that. And we didn't do that at all this time around. We just put the EP out with no video, no nothing, and next thing we get busy with shows, and I'm like, shit, we don't have a video, so we haven't done like a really good concept video in a while. So we decided to start pulling out all the stops and trying to do a really good concept video. And we got Robbie, who plays an altar. He's doing all the videography and production and producing and whatever else is there is to do. So yeah, it's a good premise. I usually come up with some crazy ideas, but this video shoot is going to be like the live portion, I guess you could say. And when I say live, I mean we're not doing a show. We're just going to be working on that one song. But there's also going to be like a underground fight scene that we need a crowd for. So the premise of the video is a fighter, and just a backyard bare knuckle fighter kind of kid. He trains, he wants to be big, he wants to be the fighter, but he doesn't have the chops. He's got a rough life. His girl gives him shit, his boss gives him shit, he gets made fun of at the gym. All this stuff is going on, and finally he like breaks, and he walks out on his girl, and he walks outside and he makes a deal with the devil. And then after shake hands with the devil, then he's got to go back in. He's got to kill his girl. He's going to kill his boss at work. So he does all that.
yeah, yeah.
And then he gets his fight in, and I'm not going to spoil too much of
Yeah.
The ending's going to be a little bit of a twist. So we're shooting the fight scene, and then in turn we're going to be shooting the scene where we're playing, where the images will be flipped back and forth. So, but
Nice.
we have a great devil scene. It's Maxime Ticardi. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a local artist, and he's creepy as fuck. And he dressed up as a devil, and it was insane. The makeup.
Oh shit.
So I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be good. So at the video shoot on the 18th, it's only going to be a couple, 2-3 hours. It's not going to be too long, but we got a sponsor for the March 13th show. We got Dark Horse Dispensary that's
Yep.
going to be sponsoring. So they gave us money to help with advertising and stuff like that. So we're going to be raffling off 4 $50 gift cards for Empire at the video shoot. There's going to be raffles for merch. There's going to be raffles for a bunch of stuff there. So everybody, that comes will get a raffle ticket. There's no charge to get in. The bar will be open. We're just going to have a fun couple hours and, see what we can come up with.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. That's sweet. I'm looking forward to that. The speaking of fights, you had the fights at Empire not too long ago.
Yeah.
How was that? That was different.
Dude,
How was that?
The way it happened, it was, Don and Priya did a great job. They did. It looked pro. It was really pro. And it was the first time we did something like that in the club, because the club has, some load bearing pillars.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, how are we going to work around this? But we came up with something good, and it worked out great. And they had a great turnout, and the next one's only going to be better. So now it's honed in. So I'm just happy that they found, we could give them a home for their thing, because I know they were having issues with some of the other places being too much money or too much of a pain in the ass. But it is what it is. Yeah, the fights were great though, and it was different. totally different.
Yeah, no, they have a very good team over there. I brought my son on Father's Day weekend to his first fights, and I brought him to Saratoga to watch one of their events actually, and everything was really well done. They do everything really well. So when I saw they were coming to Empire, I was like, hell yeah, good for them. Hopefully that's the start of something that's reoccurring. Because like you
Yeah.
say, finding a home for that sort of thing sucks. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, I think we can. I think we're going to hone it in. I think it's going to be great. What I did suggest to them, I said, you know what you need to do? You need to put it out there to like all the local bands, local people, anybody that's got beef within the scene. Sign up, fight it out in the
Yeah,
fucking ring.
hell yeah.
I know. There's a lot of people that want to fight me. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I was gonna say you got a guy in Cahoes that maybe will sign up. Who the hell knows?
I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know what the hell's going on with that guy.
Oh, dude, what a mess. What a mess. It was. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh Jesus!
I can't really say too much because he's suing the club.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's always the loud guy that's suing the club.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to give any props, but basically just started shit with me on Facebook.
I saw a little bit and I was like, what the hell is that all?
Out of the blue. And you know what? I played into it and I took the bait. I can't keep my fucking mouth shut. And he played me. He wants to get paid. That's what he wanted. So
yeah, like I said, it's those loud guys that are quick to sue. You gotta it happens, unfortunately. And then there's I wanted to talk about this the last time you were on, and we brought it up after the fact. Maybe Jericho. You have Jericho sign up.
That did I ever tell you the whole story?
No. So what the hell happened?
Oh my god!
With you and Jericho.
Great for you.
That's so good.
So, all right, mark the time on your thing here. 32:15.
Yeah, there it is.
Hear the whole Chris Jericho story right here. It's a long story, but in segments. So, strap on. It's going to take at least 20 minutes to tell, but it's fun.
That's perfect.
So, I met Chris Jericho. I think, I don't remember the year. I think it was like 2008 or 9 or 10, in that vicinity. And I used to be a representative for Crank Amps. And my buddy Darian and I were asked to supply a backline for Fozzy at BB King's in New York City. And we did. We brought the cabinets down and set everything up for him. And we got our passes and we were backstage hanging out, and it's a party. And he had members of Anthrax were there. There was Eddie Trunk, who's a big DJ, was there. And this was actually the show where Anthrax was getting back together with Joey Belladonna, and they were talking at that show. And Joey Belladonna ended up performing with one of the opening bands, and he did a Rush cover, and it was amazing. But anyway, so everybody's hanging out, and then in comes Chris Jericho. And I'll say this, Chris Jericho's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. But he has a fragile ego, and he has no sense of humor whatsoever. So I introduced myself to Chris Jericho. And, we're talking and we're hanging out. And I said, hey, I got a question for you. And it was a little bit of a sarcastic question. But, I don't know. I thought it would be funny, because I try to be witty.
Yeah.
Hey, did you name your band after the Muppet? And he looked at me and he goes, what do you mean? I go, the Muppet, Fozzie the Bear. He goes, I don't know what that is. And I looked over at Eddie Trunk and I go, he doesn't know who Fozzie the Bear is? I go, dude, how do you not know who Fozzie the Bear is? And so now I'm like baffled that he doesn't know who Fozzie. I go, Waka 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 is the bear that does all the dumb jokes. And I think he pretended that he didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, seriously. He goes, no, I don't know who he is. I go, well, obviously you didn't name your band after the Muppet. Whatever. Cool. We just continued the conversation. It was good. There was no animosity at that point. He performed. We broke down. We went home. But as before we left, I said, thank you, Chris. For, he goes, thank you for coming. Thank you for setting the cabinets up for me and all that. And I go, Chris, remember, waka, waka, waka. He said, uh-huh. So that's the first story. Second story, we get invited to Fozzie's listening party at Ace of Clubs in New York City. So we go down and we took a train down and we cabbed it. And we planned on doing some drinking and hanging out. So here we are, we're hanging out, we're drinking, we're pouring it on. Chris Jericho shows up a little late, but before that, I had a friend from New York City, from Brooklyn, kind of a loud guy, really in your face, kind of vibrant, vibe, and party. It was we were having such a good time, and he goes, "Yo, I'm a huge wrestling fan. I got to meet Chris Jericho," so I invited him. My other friend that was with me is just like, why'd you invite him? It's going to be a nightmare. No, it's not. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time. So we're having fun, partying. Chris Jericho shows up. I ended up introducing myself again to Chris Jericho. Hey, Chris, what's up? Mike from Crank Camps, blah, 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 whatever. And he goes, oh, yeah, how you doing? Talking. Again, nice guy. I introduced him to my buddy Sean. Sean's like all over him. Yo, big fan, blah, 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 blah. Like, to the point where I'm just like, oh boy, what did I do? So Chris is just like trying to be like, okay, yeah, trying to just yes him to death to get him away from him.
Yep.
So he signs a couple of autographs for him and all that, and we were drinking, hanging out, and by the end of the night, I just go, hey Chris, remember waka waka waka. And I said it again, and he remembered. And he goes, yeah, I remember. Okay, that's it. That's that story. Third story. He ends up playing at Bogies. So I had Fozzy at Bogies. And I had my friend, John Carpenter, rest in peace. He got hit by a drunk driver, and he was in a wheelchair, and he was all fucked up. Huge Chris Jericho fan. He called me. He's like, I want to go see Chris Jericho. Sure, no problem. So again, Chris Jericho's a nice guy. I said, hey, Chris, my friend John, he got hit by a drunk driver. He's got brain damage. He's in a wheelchair. He wants to meet you. Is it possible? He goes, yes, after the show, I'll come out. I'll talk to him. I said, thank you so much, whatever. And show goes on. At the end of the show, everybody's gone. Chris Jericho comes out, and I introduced him. I said, this is my friend John Chris, and he's shaking his hand. And John, now mind you, he's got brain damage, so his speech is slurred, and he's all fucked up, and he's shaking his hand, and he looks him dead in the eye and goes, I just want to let you know you're a terrible singer, and you should have stayed with wrestling. Right? He won't let go of his hand. And I'm just like, I couldn't believe it. And Chris Jericho's looking at me like I set him up. And I'm like, and I didn't. No. And I'm looking at John. I'm like, you fucking asshole. And I'm sitting there. And then it started hitting me how funny this is. And I start laughing. And Chris Jericho was not happy. And he like to get him out of the situation. And I yell in his face, waka, waka, waka. He pulls his hand away and storms off and gets on his bus. I'm dying laughing. I'm like, John, what the fuck did you do? And John's laughing. He's like, fuck that guy and all this stuff. Like, dude, you told me you were a fan. You were a wrestling fan. This band sucks. I'm not a fan of the band. I just Chris Jericho. Oh my God. So now Chris Jericho's pissed off at me. But whatever. I don't give a shit. It was funny.
Yeah.
So that's the end of that story. Next part of the story. I'm working at Upstate Concert Hall, and they're like, hey, we need you to come in early and Fozzy was playing, and this is like going probably another year and a half in the future. Yeah, we want you to be there early to work Fozzy's VIP. Okay, so I go there. I sit down at the table. They're signing autographs. They're all smiling and signing and talking, and I'm just sitting there eating a piece of pizza at the table. And I swear to God, Chris Jericho is all smiling, smiling, and he sees me and he looks at me, and his smile just went just unhappy. He was not happy. And I'm sitting there and I noticed it, and I'm eating and I'm thinking to myself, I go, does this guy really remember me? And I'm thinking, I'm like, well, it was only a year ago. And I'm thinking, I'm like, maybe he does remember me, because he always pretended he didn't. And I always had to reintroduce myself. But I guess maybe he has some trauma because of me. Who knows? Some guy in a wheelchair fucking clowned him at a. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, so he gets up and he walks. The VIP's over and he goes in the back. So I grabbed the manager or whatever. I said, hey, is Chris Jericho back there? He goes, oh, he went out to dinner. I said, oh. I said, are you the tour manager? He goes, yes. I said, do me a favor. I said, tell Chris Jericho that his friend Mike from Crank Amps said waka waka waka. And the tour manager goes, what does that mean? What do you mean? I go, it's an inside joke. He'll think it's hilarious. He will. It's just funny. Just tell him that for me, and I'm going to talk to him after the show. He goes, okay, no problem. So the night goes on, and I run it. I see the tour manager. I go, hey, did you deliver my message? And he's like, yeah, that did not go over well. I go, what do you mean? And I start laughing. He goes, yeah. He goes, you set me up. He goes, he was pissed. I'm laughing. I'm like, oh, this guy's too much. So of course they're playing now. So I stand on the side of the stage, and every time he makes eye contact, I just go waka waka waka, saying it throughout the show, to the point where he would ask somebody else from security to remove me. They're like, oh, he doesn't want you back here. I'm like, I don't give a shit what he wants. Fucking be with. So that's the next story. So then there's another story after that. Now we got to fast forward a couple of years, and my buddy Drew Stone does a podcast, New York Hardcore Chronicles.
Yep.
And he calls me up and he goes, hey, I got to ask you a question. I go, what's that? He goes, do you have a beef with Chris Jericho? Like, no, it's not. I go, I don't know. I said, it's kind of like a wrestler beef kind of thing. I go, I'm having fun with it, but he gets all butthurt and then he storms off like a freaking woman. And I told him, he goes, because if you do, I won't put him on the podcast. I go, no, absolutely, put him on the podcast. I go, can I call in? He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. So, of course, I sign on when the podcast is there, and it's on through Facebook. So I sign on, and I'm blocked immediately. I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. So I sign on one of my other accounts, the Upstate Black and Blue account. And, of course, I put in the chat, I'm like, waka, waka, waka. Here's everybody else to start saying that. So then I did it. Then I started doing it through the brick by brick thing. And then somebody messaged me like, stop, you need to stop doing this, or, you're going to be reported. And I'm like, all right. So I stopped. But apparently he saw all the comments, all the waka wakas, wasn't happy with that. All right. So the next part of the story, he is scheduled to play Empire. And this is 3 years ago. And he decides to do an AEW event the night before at the MVP Arena.
Yep.
I have a series of a couple of friends that went to the AEW event. And they had front row. And they're drinkers, and they're very loud, and they're very opinionated, we'll say. So my phone rings, and it's my buddy. He goes, yo, we're at the MVP. guess who's here? Chris Jericho. Yo, they were verbally abusing this guy so bad. Waka, 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 saying, Mike Valenti's going to fuck you up. And
Oh,
they just,
yeah.
like, for the entire show, chanting my name, chanting waka, waka, waka. Mike Valenti's going to fuck you up. Now, mind you, they're in the front row, so they see him like literally 5 feet from him.
Oh, yeah.
Screaming, Mike Valenti's going to fuck you up. And to the point where he actually acknowledged the annoyance. So the next day, he canceled the show.
Oh, jeez.
Right? So he said that it was because he had vocal cord issues or whatever. I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, he's full of shit. That doesn't just happen. What's the he's wrestling. All of a sudden you're gonna not perform. I think it was because he had low ticket sales and in a combination of getting harassed by my friends. So I put up we had the poster out there, and I put a masking tape, canceled out of fear of Mike Valente. Picture of it. And of course I posted it, I tagged him, I kept sending it to him. I just to the point where I got blocked, I got reported, I couldn't send anything. I had like a 2-week ban on Facebook.
Oh, Jesus.
Right. So that's that part of the story. Next part of the story. One more part. He plays Empire again. And this brings us up to last year. So last year, I believe it was October 24th. So it wasn't very good ticket sales. It was like less than 200 people. And the club was like, oh, this sucks, but he didn't cancel. So I invited a bunch of people, like, hey, if you bring waka, waka, waka signs, I'll put you on my list. Well, a lot of people took me up on that. There was probably about 40 waka, waka, waka signs. And what did I do? I dressed up as Fozzie the Bear. I rented a costume, or I didn't rent, I bought a costume for like $400. And it's a full body costume.
I'll have to put the picture. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I'll put in the picture up.
I just go up and I just stand in the crowd front and center. And mind you, there's only maybe 250 people now with the people that I brought, all holding up waka 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 signs, and he's singing and he's pretending none of it's happening. And I'm like, his band is laughing and smirking and pointing and all this other stuff, but he's just not acknowledging it. And that bear costume got really hot. So I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I was there for like a half hour, 40 minutes. I'm like, I'm out. On my way home, I get a call from the manager of the club. Thanks a lot. What do you mean? Oh, no. He goes, yeah, you left me with a shit show. I go, what are you talking about? Chris Jericho's in the fucking green room having a meltdown. Oh, he was having a fucking conniption fit in the back, and the tour manager was flipping out because of Fozzie the Bear.
Yep.
So I definitely got to him. And then 2 days later, I saw a random post. So somebody, one of his fans that was at that show, went to a New York City show and was holding up a waka waka waka.
Oh, no.
Not knowing that it was a ball bust. And somebody sent me a picture of that. So that is my Chris Jericho story.
Holy shit.
So Chris Jericho definitely knows who I am. He denies it, but he knows. He definitely
knows.
And yeah, I don't know what the next chapter holds, but I still have that Fozzie costume. So I'm waiting for like the next wrestling event to come through that he's going to be at, and I'm going to probably go to the wrestling
Oh God.
show and try and get on TV with a costume.
I do remember last year. I remember the costume. Like I said, I'll have the picture up when the episode comes out. Get the video up at least for this part of the story because there will be a photo of of the Fozzie. It was so funny. It was so funny. I think it was Brandon maybe was talking about it, and then I saw all the pictures, and I was just like, "Holy shit!"
I know.
It was so good,
dude. This has been going on for a decade.
That's so funny.
I mean, how
That's
can you not
so
know
funny.
who I am? I'm the only asshole
Yeah.
making a big. All you have
Well,
to do is say, "Ha ha, that's pretty funny." No, I didn't name my band after the bug.
That's it. That's it. That's all it would have been.
It would have been dead.
I'm still picturing the wheelchair handshake. That is so funny to me.
Dude, it was brutal.
So
and however I described it, it was worse than what I described it. It was so awkward because, like I said, here you got a brain damaged dude in a wheelchair that can't talk right and has a twisted sense of humor. And I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God.
That's one of those things where you either have it or you don't, because no matter what happened to that guy, he was making that joke.
Dude.
Oh my God.
It was like a episode out of Sunny in Philadelphia. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It was a sitcom. It was so unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
Well, I think when you said when you're eating the pizza and he looked, that had to be burned into his head because you don't forget something like that, especially only in a year. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, he was so mad. He was so mad about that. Oh, it was great.
But a lot of people, they just don't have the sense of humor you have or we have. Really, I was laughing yesterday. The Happy Hanukkah thing.
Oh yeah, right. I patted myself.
In that case,
I thought that was
clever. I took a screenshot. I sent it to the group chat. I was like, look at this fucking guy. I thought that was so funny.
Oh man.
So for people that don't know, when you do work the box office and you come in contact with these characters.
Listen, I have, if you're going to come to the box office and you're not intelligent, I'm going to have fun with you. I'm going to have fun with you. Oh man, yeah. And you know the best part about it is I'm the one that gets the complaint emails.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get complaints about the fucking asshole in the box office all the time.
Yeah. I see it on Reddit all the time. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you people. I was like, who do you think handles that shit? It doesn't matter. Reddit's a fucking cesspool. I mean, that shit.
I don't, how do I say, I'm careful. I choose my battles. I don't have to go overboard because I don't want it to reflect on the club. But
no, on the club, right.
I'll tell you another funny story. So we had Modest Yahoo scheduled to play, and you know, he's Jewish, and the Palestinian supporters were upset because he was playing. And, you know, the last thing I want to do is get in the middle of politics and all that shit. It's, you know, but the phone calls that the box office was getting incessantly, you know, telling us to cancel it and all this stuff. I had to have fun. And this one girl kept calling and calling. And like, box office, I just want to let you know, and blah, 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 explaining her position and all that stuff. I said, okay. I said, you know what you need to do? You need to email Empire Live Box Office. So she emails the box office. Well, of course, I get the email. But I said in the email, I said, okay, we understand. What you need to do is you need to call this number. And I give her the box office number. I said, call this number, and somebody will be able to help you. So then the phone rings. Box office. She goes, oh, I emailed and they told me to call this number again. I said, oh, who emailed you? She goes, well, I don't know. I go, all right, well, email back, find out who you're talking to, and they'll be able to direct you. Boom. So I get the email. Want to know who I'm talking to? So I didn't tell her who I was. I just said, oh, hey, how you doing? Thanks for the response, or thanks for your email. Call this number for the box office manager. So the phone rings. Box office. Now she goes, I was just told, you told me to email. They tell me to call. Now they're telling me to ask for the box office manager. I go, oh, well, that's me. What can I do for you? And she's like, I want the Modest Yahoo show canceled. I'm like, oh, okay. I said, well, I need to have you put it in writing in the email. And she goes, I already did that. I said, oh, we'll do it again, and I will forward it to the right people. And I just went, blah, 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 blah. She's like, oh, she started getting frustrated. So what she do? She emails the box office.
Oh, Jesus.
So I made this long response, essentially telling her to call the box office. So a little while goes, the phone rings, and box office, she's like, I don't understand why it's so difficult to get. So I'm sitting there, I said, and I must have wasted a good 90 minutes of her day. Right?
Oh,
just with, but I'm bored and I'm having fun. And she goes, I don't understand why it's so difficult to get in. I said, you want to know why it's difficult? I go, because nobody gives a fuck about your podcast. It's a music venue, and I hung up on her. Oh, God.
Holy shit. That's so funny.
Yeah, we have fun there.
Well, I see you all the time. You're always like, hey, I'm at the box office this time. Come hang out, buy tickets. Just come talk shit. Whatever you want to do, I'm here. It's like,
do it up. Anybody.
What the hell?
Anybody want to come down, just shoot the shit with me. Come on down. 11 to 4, Monday through Friday, unless we're on tour or I got shows.
Yeah.
But in the summertime, it's fun because I usually sit outside and have a little drink and a cigar and just chill out all day.
Oh my God, that's so funny, dude. Just picture this lady fucking the amount of time. How do you even spend that much time? How do you give that much of a shit? I don't have that in me, I guess. Fucking good for you, lady. Because
yeah, I know.
And after the second phone call,
the show ended up getting canceled anyway because it was just too much of an issue.
It's too much, yeah.
Who wants to deal with any of it, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
You know, then you get
a fucking
thank you for doing the show. Don't cave. Don't show me.
Yeah, that's
fuck up with you too. It's like
you're fucking just as bad. I don't like you either.
Dude. Everybody out there that takes a side on politics, if you're in hardcore metal or punk, why? You're supposed to hate both sides.
Yeah, fuck them both.
God.
Yep. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dude, I'm fucking I got tears in my eyes.
Both sides are pedophiles. Both sides are racist. It's like they're all assholes.
That's the crazy part. They're like, well, what if your guy's on this list? Like, that's not my guy. Fuck that guy too. I don't give a fuck. Kill them all.
They all shake hands behind the scene. Who you kidding?
Yeah. Fucking kill them all. I don't care.
Yeah, it's not right or left. It's billionaires versus us.
Us. Yeah, exactly. Always has been. Fucking always will be, really.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Well, that's about an hour. That's fucking holy fuck. That last half hour has me crying. That was fucking good.
Yeah. Well,
you can't make this shit up.
Yep.
Oh, is there anything that you want to touch on that we did not? Anything at all you want to put out there?
Well, like I said, I mean, we got Friday, March 13th. Brick by Brick, Internal Bleeding, All Out War, Invoke Thy Wrath, Torn Out, and Echoes in Eternity. Tickets are only $20. I got them. Come see me. Go see any other bands to get tickets. We got the Extreme Music Awards on January 17th. The 16th, we got pre-party with Layleens, who's headlining, who is members of the Contortionist, Through the Eyes of the Dead, My Bitter End. So, and they're fucking phenomenal. We got Incontinence on there, Banshee, The Lichen, Crimson Mask. Oh my God, I don't have the list in front of me, and I look like an idiot because I'm not prepared.
No, you're good. It's Banshee, 1,000 Yard Stare, Faded Line, Incontinence, Crimson Mask, The Lycan, and that's January 16th. That's the
Yeah,
pre-party. Holy fuck!
yeah. And if you're a nominee or a sponsor or anything involved with the show, you get into that show free. So come on down, support. It's going to be fun. It's like I said, I just my reward for these shows is having my friends have a good time and smile. And
Yeah, no, it's
I'm gonna put my boy on the spot right now. My boy Donnie Tufts, old school Troy Core guy,
yep.
grew up, almost together. He's a little younger than me, but he came up to me a couple of shows. He gives me a hug. He's smiling, and that motherfucker's a hard dude to make smile. And
Yeah.
I won. I feel great doing that.
Yeah, Donnie's a good guy. He was it was funny because his son I went to school with, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, your dad looks so fucking familiar." And I was like, "Did he play?" He's like, his dad's like, "Yeah, if Troy." I was like, "All right, all right, all right."
Yep.
Kind of. I'm not checking you, dude.
Also,
Yep.
I'll put out there that I am at the box office 11 to 4 Monday through Friday. If you're in a band and you need advice, or if you want some pointers on what to do to help you guys succeed, I love chatting it up. And I do have I've had a lot of bands come by and help pick my brain. And I'm not saying I'm the be all end all or whatever, but I've been around the block and I could tell you what to avoid and what not to.
Yeah, no, you've always been very supportive, always super kind to me, great guy to me. So I definitely take you up on that. And then the just want to bring this up as well. There's also the Jason Bittner All Star Jam that
Yes.
didn't really get talked about. That's super fun. That was,
Yeah, and how can I forget? We got Chuck Billy from Testing.
yeah,
I got Jesse Leach from Killswitch Engage. We got members of Prong and Ministry and fucking Flotsam and Jets. It's the All Star Jam is ridiculous, and the sets that the songs that they got planned is just you gotta go. That in itself, and it's only $20. It's like, come on.
yeah. No, you can't. That's
No,
just not something you're gonna get every day
no, this is
with
not.
that lineup, those people. So
This is not a tour. It's not something
no,
you're ever going to see again, except on YouTube.
yeah, no, it's incredible. I was about to sign off and give you your flowers. I'm like, how the fuck? We gotta at least bring up the All Star Jam once
Yeah.
because there's no way can't miss that. That's insane. But yes, Extreme Music Awards. Check out Empire's website. I'll have flyers from shows that we talked about. I'll have the website links in the description. Uh, Everything that we've talked about will be both in the description and flyers will be on the video of the pod. So I appreciate you, Mike.
Thank you for having me, man. This was fun.
Yeah, have a good holiday. Have a Merry Christmas, and
Merry
I'll
Christmas.
see you soon.
All right, brother.